Okay, we're back. I'm gonna try to set the video up over here. Sorry. Set up over here. We're gonna face this tree. This tree that's in the video. It was a tree that was dedicated in 1976. I think I took a picture of the sign over there, so it's gonna be in the picture. It's a big tree, probably the biggest one in here. Old tree's been here a minute, so let me get set up over here. Set up right here so we can see that. We're also facing the sun. That's pretty. That looks good. I'm gonna slide back in. Come on, man. We're getting this one right at sunset. I don't get many of those. Perhaps at sunset. That was cool. It's working out perfect. Get that off. Hat off. Boom! Out of the park. That's like Hudson home run. The deep center, deep right field. Right center. Whatever. Got my baseball terms. I need to work on those. All right. So that was did that one facing. So that direction over there, that's the direction I was playing. That is where the Mississippi's at. The Mississippi River is that direction. On the other side of that, there's a plant over there. I don't know if you can see there. But out beyond that plant, it probably sits there near the river. But river just right over there. I had to cross over to get over to this cemetery. But now, so you know the river. You know anything about rivers? They change course over the years. So 160, whatever, how many years that was. This river, they built that fort right on the bluff. It was right on the edge of the river, so they could shoot down, cannon down, fire down on ships and troops that were coming in from the river. That was the purpose, control that river, control access to it. So and now here in 2025, if it has moved further away from the fort, where the fort would have been, or would have stood. It was the river just changes courses. So where it used to be right on the river, it's now I don't know what that is, half a mile away from here now. So thought that was interesting if you didn't know that. I'll put up a picture. I took a screenshot and show you where it's at now. But this cemetery, or the property that the cemetery is on, and the fort that was right here, where it's at now, it's hard to find it, but it was right here on the river at one point. Not anymore. Anyway, we're gonna walk back over to my car. Actually, we're gonna go put this bugle on first in my gig bag, yeah, and finish our walk over. Hold on just a second. Zipper down. Your fly's open, son. Oh, I mean, my gig bag needs to be zipped. There we go. All right, so there's like two sides of this cemetery. And that was great, that sunset back there, man. There's that tree. That was, anyway, there's two sides of the cemetery. I don't know what, I know they bought more property. I know that, I forget how many it was. They paid $3,000, I think, for the property initially. It was on 8 acres. And now it's expanded. Some older headstones back here, but not, I think the farther back you go towards where I'm parked, it's a newer part of the cemetery. So all these headstones up here look, yeah, they look like they're in good condition. They just, they're not white now. Yellowed and brown, you know. I haven't handled the weather well, but the ones back here where I'm headed, they're like bleach white. That's where we're headed, right there. Cars parked back here on the corner there. Speaking of private cemetery, right here, and I've got a picture of this too. Right here, there's a gate separating, just like a chain link fence kind of fence that separates the National Cemetery from this Collier family private cemetery. And the Collier family private cemetery, outside of that chain link fence, the rest of the wall around it is a nice looking brick wall that surrounds this little small private cemetery that's back here. Oh, cut across here. Odd. Tried to do some reading about it, but anyway, going back to the Port Hudson battle. It was in 48 days long, and the Confederates were here for 61 days because they got here and started working on building the fort, building the places where they would place the cannons and stuff like that, and just getting it ready to defend it. And there was a big bend in the river right over here where it used to run up here closer to this area right here. It's a big, almost like a 90-degree bend, and that's where they set up the fort, because if they're coming up river with their ships, they got to slow down to make that turn, and that's where they would lay into them. So in total there were like 10,000 Union soldiers that died here to 500 to 700 Confederates. Like it was because they were inside that fort and protected. The only thing that they weren't protected from was disease, starvation, and that's how they ultimately beat them, just surrounded the fort, and nothing comes in, nothing goes out. And when you get hungry enough, you'll come out of there. And that's how they finally got them. Well, they probably should have surrendered much earlier. Maybe my grandfather would still be alive, right? Because he died like 6 days before they actually surrendered. But, well, he wouldn't be alive today. Be much older than the rest of us. But I mean, he would have maybe lived a lot longer than at 20 years old. Had more kids, who knows? But right back here is that, see the brick wall back there? That's a private cemetery back there. It says the Collier family, private cemetery. And there's like 3 headstones. It's a large property. I mean, it's not large like the National Cemetery is larger. But I mean, it's for a family cemetery. There aren't that many people buried in there. I don't know if there's anybody buried. There's some headstones, but some marker right here, right there. That just says Collier Family Cemetery, private. All that says. Everything back there, headstones you see back there. There's only 1, 2, 3. And I think the one in the center just says Collier. So I don't know if there's people buried in there or if that's just folks that will be buried. Whatever. I was going to do some more reading about it, but it's stuff like that is like, what? All right. So the national cemeteries, they are a sunset or sunrise to sunset. That's their visitation times that you can come be in the cemetery, and it's after sunset. I don't want to wind up, the one I did up in Indianapolis. I mean, it was dark, and I probably shouldn't have been in there, but I wasn't going to leave Indiana without playing. And made my mind up on that one. I'm not going to leave here without doing this. So y'all gonna come kick me out or whatever. Thing opened up. All right, 2 long videos. Me doing some talking. A little bit of playing. I get out of here, head for Gulfport. I'll start there tomorrow at the Gulfport, the training center for the Air National Guard. It's at the airport there in Gulfport, International Airport, which is where a lot of your Air National Guard bases will be located. It is in conjunction with a local airport, commercial airline, or commercial airport. Okay, what am I doing? Okay. All right. More look at the cemetery back here. And I'm gonna go on to Gulfport. I gotta get a picture of the entrance up here too. Well, I got some daylight, so. All right, y'all. Can't. There we go. No, right here. All right. We'll talk to y'all later. See y'all in back in Dallas here in a few days. All right. And to my wife, I love you. I'll be calling you here shortly. All right, bye.